In-depth coverage on KSL News Radio.
And good morning to you, Brian and Amanda. We're broadcasting live this morning from the Senate Lounge, just north of the Senate chambers, where things are really going to get cooking here in just about another hour, hour and a half or so.
And we're pleased to be joined by Utah House Speaker Greg Hughes. And Mr. Speaker, thank you for your time this morning.
I'm in the Senate Lounge, but I'm here. I'm committed. I'm a public servant.
We
I'll
should have
come
been on
over
the
here.
other side. I apologize for that.
Amanda, we're the
Who did
arena.
that?
We're
Who
the
did that?
arena. This is the old and slow. Come
I'm
on
so
over to the
sorry.
house.
House Lounge is where it's at.
That's it. That's where it happens.
Where do we focus this year? Where is your primary focus?
Well, I have to tell the listeners, first, you never really know. It's like a raging rapids. You want to point the boat in the right direction, but we have so many things that come up that are just, spontaneous in nature. But the things that I know about as we walk into this session, things that I care about passionately, we have a homelessness issue in downtown Salt Lake that I'm going to make the argument today in my opening address is a state issue. It is not a city issue. It is not a county issue. This is a state issue that is impacting the lives of the most vulnerable, but also impacts the finite dollars that we have as a state and how we provide assistance. And we have to do this better than what we're seeing down there. Second issue, lands are always an issue. We've seen this Bears Ears Monument that was designated. I was down in San Juan County. There's a lot of emotion with that. And I want to really convey to the rest of Utah what that means and what it feels like to have something like that happen within your community where those members of that community really feel that they are attached to the land and are good stewards of that land. And talk a little bit about that. Education funding, this is an issue that we have to stare at this issue every year. It is our top priority and really the issue that it ranks top when we do polls with our constituents across 75 House districts as the number one issue. We always do this, but there's a bit of an outside baseball game with the public and the press talking about funding. I'm going to talk about the funding for our schools and how we get better at this and what we should do and what we have to be careful about as we talk about these funding mechanisms or proposals. There's one of the things we fight in the legislature are unintended consequences. So we need to really stare at best practices of other states, best practices that have occurred in this state, and really let good information drive good decisions. So I'm going to be touching on that as well.
You've covered so many different topics. I want to even get personal with you. How exciting is this for you for day one of the legislature? I mean, is this what it's all built up for right now?
Oh, it is game day. It is game day, and this game goes till March, okay? This is not
throughout the
This
year.
is a long game.
This is probably a season rather than a game, but I have that kind of emotion to it. It is something that we prepare in interim committees. We work all year for these 7.5 weeks that we are drinking out of a fire hydrant. I love our form of government. We have one of the shortest sessions in the country, but it allows people of all stripes and all different professions and expertise to be able to serve because it isn't so long. It's long, but it's not as long as many other states. And that gives a broad breadth of experience and perspective. And then we get in here, we do our job, we get out, and then we have to go live with all these laws we've passed and these budgets we've approved. And that kind of perspective, I think, really does make this body and this process a lot more substantive because we are citizen legislators with such a short session. So I'm excited.
I wish we had more time.
I just do.
Because I could talk to you for an hour.
Yeah, at least.
And we are woefully limited. But I thank you for your service, Mr. Speaker, and we'll be
you.
watching what you do on that wonderful website you have, which lets us watch and listen to
Please
all
do.
of the hearings. And we thank you, sir.
Thanks
I'll let
so
you get back
much.
to work.